Welcome back to the Regional Games, sponsored by Mitchell Canned Goods. Last week, all hell broke loose in the opening rounds of Real Table Tennington and Scatter. Later, we've got a classic slugfest in the II Dukes. But right now, it's barehanded freeboard. Let's see how a couple of favourites made it to the semi-finals. Remember Brendan Seeley from Bilth? He kept us on nettles right up to the final throw. But that's more than enough. And here's Holliday from Bristol. He worked his way back from bad health and bad luck. And he put away this combination when he was well in front. Not bad, but it's bugger all to what we've been seeing from killer Carl Pritchard, the man they call the freeboard freak. Don't forget, it starts without wires, without a net, some might say. The game lasts 15 turns each, highest score wins. Easiest to go for is the small radius bonus. Double bubble if you hit 700, but I've never seen it. Carl's opponent is shy boy Johnny Shakes, the Hereford hermit. Hates speed on camera, but he's absolutely desperate for the cash. Luckily for us, that means more of Killer Karl, and right now he's giving Johnny a bloody good hiding.
You might be asking yourself, why is Killer Karl pulling that face? And the answer is respect. His opponent is a completely different proposition this year, and Karl is giving this match his total focus.
531.
Come on.
And he's been rewarded. 531 there, that's his highest combination of the tournament. And he's right to smile. He's delighted, of course. But let's give some credit to Johnny Shakes,
26.
who, when they played each other a couple of years ago, was absolutely dismantled. And it was after that match that he got those nicknames, Hereford Hermit and Shy Boy, because he all but disappeared from public life. Some people said he was sent into hiding, but no, it was a self-imposed solitude, rebuilding his game from the ground up.
342.
And as you can see, it's paid dividends. I'll always remember the late Philip Duval saying Johnny played like he wanted to get home for tea. Now it's all so much more relaxed and composed. Now Karl, he'll tell you himself, he prefers it this way because he's had to bring his A game. He could have asked for no better preparation for the final, because that is where he's headed. In a year or two we might be looking at a real contender in Johnny Shakes, but not today. The killer is in ominous form.
364.
That's how it's done. Come on.
That is how it's done. Well done, Karl, and well done, Johnny.
That's Killer Karl through to the final. Full marks from me. Now let's get on to the II Dukes and that quarter-final I was telling you about. It's an all-Welsh affair. Siôn Evans from Ammanford against Ray Harris from Blackwood. Up north they call it prong and paddle, but the rules are the same wherever you go. Best 2 out of 3 rounds, and it can end at any time. Knowing these two, it'll be a full-force poke right to the orbs. These mad bastards are like trained assassins. On the left, Siôn, fearless, a provocateur. On the right, it's Ray, hot-headed, dangerous. Siôn's the favourite, a defensive maestro. Fancies himself a charmer. He gets them all twitching with barely 3 inches of thrust. But make no mistake, Ray's fingers know to hit the target, but he's impulsive, and Siôn will be hoping to capitalise on that to secure 3 consecutive blocks.
Round 1.
What did I tell you? Round 1 to Siôn. Let's see what happens next.
Can you carry on? Are you alright? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ah! Ah! Hey!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 2.
Okay.
Round 3, winner.
Ray Harris lands the death blow. Sean Evans will have to pull himself together now. I'll have a word with him in a bit once they've patched him up and he's stopped crying. Harris is just one win away from a spot in the final. But we follow that in another episode, because up next is the last couple of rounds in the freeboard tussle. Brendan and Ron are fighting it out to face this lad in the title decider. And Killer Karl's in the form of his life. If his opponent's less than perfect, he will execute them. See you after the break.
For cheap and easy midweek meals, fill your pie hole with Mitchell More Chunks meat flavour pie filling. Now with extra chunks and new more like meat taste. Mmm, tastes like meat.
Back, are you? Good. Now, the big question. Who's going to take on Killer Karl in the final? You probably know that Brendan Seeley's been out of the game for a few years. Got himself banned for gambling. Well, I hope he didn't bet on himself today, because he's getting a proper hammering from the popular veteran Ron Holliday.
There was quite a lot of controversy, understandably, about Brendan getting the wildcard entry to this tournament after what he's done. Should someone who's had a gambling ban get that kind of favourable treatment? Well, it's not for me to say. He's got all the natural talent in the world, as we know, and he's flown through the early rounds here, but it's hard to believe there was a time when he and Killer Karl were neck and neck in the rankings.
260.
That's a very generous 260 from the Adjudicator. Those darts were miles apart. And to me, that is a man who is looking beyond the dartboard, both literally and figuratively.
$372.
That's a lot better, mind you. A lot better. 372. Whether that was by luck or judgment, only Brendan will know. And judging from that expression, I think it was more by luck. But can he follow up?
204.
No. And those were three of the most dismissive darts I've seen in this entire tournament. That's really unfortunate to see. And that's even more unfortunate to see.
337.
I'm embarrassed that he's resorted to that kind of behaviour. And he's throwing these with contempt.
188.
That's 188 more than he deserved, I can tell you. Some contrition at least. Some acknowledgement that Ron was the better man. And a well-deserving finalist.
Ron seals a place in the final, and Brendan looks like he needs a holiday. Now, here's that chat with Siôn. Well, Siôn, there's no easy way of saying this. You really messed that up. What happened to you? You were shaking like a leaf. What an embarrassment. Would you like to take this opportunity to apologise to your family and your friends?
Where are they?
I don't know. I think they left early. Ah, well, better luck next time. Ron Holliday's got a proper boy to take on now in the barehanded freeboard final. He's facing Killer Karl Pritchard, the primary school teacher from Brecon, who slaughtered everyone so far. They'll both be giving it their all to get their hands on 50 quid and a year's supply of Mitchell pie filling. Not bad. Here we go.
Ron really needs to get going here. Throwing first, well behind already. And we know how good Karl is as a front runner.
195.
Not good enough in any game, let alone a final. We're playing behind closed doors, of course, following last year's regrettable incident. Doesn't seem to have had a detrimental effect on players, but if anyone was going to suffer from the absence of spectators, it would be a fan favourite like Ron.
93.
And that's desperately poor, I'm afraid. 93, his lowest score of the tournament. And I'm sure Karl won't need a second invitation to take advantage here.
460.
And he doesn't. 460. There's only one man in this at the moment. And he's looking content, I would say.
174.
There's been a lot of talk about his meditation routine. There's no doubt it's bearing fruit. Ron, who never looks anything less than determined, needs to summon the support of his followers from afar and
127.
utilise every bit of his experience to get back into this, because it is now or never.
528.
Goodness me. Where did that come from? 528. Just look at that smile, like the cat that got the cream. Talk about risk and reward. I have no idea how that third dart stayed in. And this might be even better.
654.
Ron Holliday, you old dog. 654, that is by miles the biggest combination of the tournament. Yes, indeed. Enjoy it, Ron.
219.
And that 219 from Karl tells me the meditation's out the window and he's feeling the pressure.
521.
And a third 500 plus combination from Ron. His fans at home, who already wanted him to win, will now believe that he can.
167.
Meanwhile, Karl, with his first sub-200 score, I believe, ever at this event, and, well, I apologise for the language there from Karl.
185.
He's angry with himself, I can understand that, but he's probably looking at a fine now. He'd be better served channeling that aggression into his darts,
242.
but that's not happening. Karl desperately needs to regain some sort of control, but that expression is not encouraging.
616.
616 now from Ron. This is some of the finest bare-handed freeboard I have ever seen. Don't take this for granted, viewers.
230.
561, the extraordinary 5-turn average. Ron Holliday must be sensing that a first regional games title is within reach.
No score.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. And neither is Ron by the looks of it.
329.
Let's take a look at a replay. Oh dear me.
204.
I cannot believe what I have just seen.
433.
I don't recall witnessing that in all my time commentating on a professional game. Well, there's no need for that, Karl.
161.
No need to gloat. It's a terribly unfortunate way for Ron's final to end, and I'm sorry to say it has ended. A final that swung violently from one side to another, and now back again in favour of Karl Pritchard, the killer. The rule about overstepping the mark, we know it's there, we know it's disproportionately punitive, but the truth is you don't see it in the junior game. Never mind at this level. Karl now, with the pressure off,
573. Yes.
scores a tournament high 573. You can't say he hasn't deserved it, but come on, Ron. Let's finish strong for the fans. Oh, God.
82.
What can you say, except that it's all gone wrong for Ron? And Killer Karl is a champion once more.
459.
Come on! Yeah, come on!
And now it all comes out. What an incredible final.
A good day's work for Killer Karl, who wins 50 notes and sends Ron limping into retirement. No question, he's the best I've ever seen. And if you say different, I'll call you a filthy liar. Next week, more of this sort of thing. Ta-ra!